the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you might be sitting here asking yourself, where is the eye candy of the show? He's changing a tire right now, folks. I get this text this morning while sitting here. 7:46 a.m. Flat tire, see you in a bit, wish me luck. If he shows up today, here's the question we got to have for him. Of course, we're talking about 17-year NFL veteran Dale Hellestrae. Is he changing that tire himself? Does he have a spare? He's got a fairly new vehicle. Does he have a spare on that vehicle? I've told him before, and he's mocked me. Neither of my cars, the one I have, the one Ethan drives, neither one have spare tires on them. They just have those things that you put into that, and it puts juice in it, like if you get a nail. But if you get a big hole, there's nothing you can do. Is Dale changing his own tire right now? Is the question of the day, folks. And hopefully he gets it changed and comes in, so we'll be able to ask him that question as well. Or does he do what I have to do? I have to call AAA. Remember that story where I had to send Ethan's car, he had a flat, and I had to tow it down a Discount Tire? And the guy mocked me. Didn't feel comfortable driving it with the nail in it. I know, he goes, then you didn't feel comfortable putting the spare on? And I was like, doesn't have a spare tire. Has to do with weight and all that stuff, I guess. I don't know. But these hybrids and electric cars don't come with spares anymore. I don't know if regular cars do, but the ones I buy don't. I don't get it either. So we'll have to see if Dale, in fact, is changing the tire himself. But, a lot to talk about here today on this Friday. So I'll get you going until he gets here, if he gets here today. If he doesn't show up, that means he's towing it to Discount or something. He's just sitting there. I should have asked him where he was. I could have Ethan go and get him. He ain't leaving that. He ain't leaving that gorgeous car there. Everybody comes up into work this morning on a Friday, and they go, "Oh, is your bracket busted?" It's my most hated conversation on the Friday of the tournament. Because there's upsets. There's always going to be upsets, but no major teams went down yesterday. Wisconsin did, but did you really have Wisconsin going far? I have them losing to Arkansas in the next round, so even for me, it's like not a big deal that they lost. But that's my favorite thing when people are, "Oh, did your bracket get busted?" It's like the, "Hey, it's hot out there, huh?" The small talk thing that you go through. We'll talk about the brackets coming up and what happened yesterday. Some exciting games, a lot of blowouts, some exciting games. Of course, ASU women's, they ended up losing that game to Virginia last night. Hey, that team showed what they were all year on the national stage last night. They were down big at halftime to the point where you were like, "Yeesh, going to take an epic comeback to get in it." Tied the game with less than a minute to go with a 3. Then Virginia hits a 3, and then it goes kind of back and forth at that point. To the point where ASU had a chance to at least tie the game if they get a 2. And they didn't do it. They had the ball in their hands, wasn't able to convert it, lost there for that. We'll talk in with Molly Miller after the game yesterday. I get a lot of vibes, and I don't want to compare her to Kenny Dillingham, but I get a lot of vibes, similar vibes between the two. And my point is this, when I bring this up. My point is, I don't know where this wrinkle is coming from in my shirt right there, but that's annoying me. The point here is, it's my ear thing. It's tight in my ear thing is pinching the back there. That's what's causing it. I know. Sorry, folks. You don't care. Molly Miller gives me some vibes here a la Kenny Dillingham. And I'm not comparing the two. I don't want to compare the two. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get to this later on, what she says. My point on this is, I told you earlier, Bobby Hurley looks like he does not fit into this Arizona State sports program with the way they're building it, the type of coaches they have here. Willie Bloomquist with baseball is the same way. Softball coach is very similar to this as well. I'm not familiar with swim coach and all those guys, but if I had to guess, they're probably very similar to what we see with the football coach and basketball, women's basketball. ASU needs a basketball coach that fits into this mold. We'll talk more about that. It'll make sense here as we get into it. We'll check in with Duke at halftime yesterday. They ended up winning that game against Siena but shocking words coming out at halftime. I'm watching that game as we're sitting here yesterday, getting our pit stop uploaded, by the way, on demand right now here at Robat TV on the YouTube page as well. The Pit Stop Talk. Search for the Pit Stop with Steven there on all your favorite podcast systems. Get caught up. Tonight's the truck race over there at Darlington as they get back underway. Pit Stop's up now, but we finished that up. We're watching the Duke game. Halftime. Got done with the TCU Ohio State game where TCU won it. And Duke at halftime said some questionable things. And I pulled up a stat for you. I found it. I was searching for it. I found it on X yesterday. A stat on teams, number one seeds that struggle in their first game. It's an interesting stat on Duke's possible fate coming up here as well. So we're going to talk about that as well. College football, D1 rules, Division I. Rule changes are coming. Now, on the targeting side, there's also some other things coming. We're going to talk about those, but the big one here that catches your eye is the targeting rule. Arizona State fans, remember that? Questionable targeting called against Arizona State. Lose the player for the rest of the game, beginning of the next game. Texas, questionable targeting. They don't call targeting. Kid gets to stay in the game. Changing this up a little bit here going forward. Is it perfect? No, I hate it. Get rid of the rule altogether, in my opinion. It's too arbitrary for these officials. One official calls targeting this. One official calls targeting this. No consistency whatsoever. Get rid of the rule. But we'll talk about the changes coming up here on that as well. ASU spring practice is underway. Been there a couple of days now, as they have, maybe yesterday, definitely. My days are running together here with all the basketball and things going on. Of course, Suns last night, man, they held in there with the Spurs. Lost that game late as well. Yeah, Zach Gallen's on the mound tonight for the Diamondbacks in spring training. Handful of games left for spring training till the regular season starts, and they got the Dodgers right out of the bat. Their beginning of the schedule for the Diamondbacks is not good. It's going to be very difficult to get through. Gallen on the mound today, and what could be his final spring training start for him tonight. We'll see if he does squeeze in another one, but I believe it's getting close to that point as well. We do have the World Baseball Classic ratings in, and woo-wee, if you're the NBA, you have a ratings problem. We'll talk about that coming up. And then it's the annual year of Torey Lovullo not giving us any confidence he knows what he's doing. We'll get into this as well, specifically around the closer role. Last year, right, to kind of preview this for you, last year, because we got breaking news this morning we're going to talk about here in just a second. Not sports world, life and entertainment rules, but Torey Lovullo last year, had to go to a committee of, 17 people to ask who should start the season. And he ends up going with Gallen over Corbin Burns. Screws Corbin Burns up all in spring training. He likes the certain system. Torey screws all that up to where Burns doesn't even pitch until, second series in that last year. And every year he says, we'll see who the closer is. Closer by committee. I'm just done. Look, whether it's Torey, whether it's the GM, whether it's the president of baseball operations, I don't care who it is. Whoever is making these decisions every year, we're tired of it. I'm tired of it. Derek Hall, if it's you, I don't care who it is. Knock it off. I'm tired of it. We'll talk about that coming up as well. But first, the big news this morning I wanted to bring up for you as well. Legend has lost us here as well. Now, look, when an 86-year-old man goes into a medical emergency and has to go into the hospital, it's usually not good news. So yesterday when we heard it, me and Ethan were driving home and he mentioned it. And it was funny too because, Ethan brings it up and I go, it's probably not good. A man pushing 80 is going to the hospital with a medical emergency. Ethan looked it up. He's 86 years old. Just had his birthday 9 days ago. Of course, we're talking about Chuck Norris here as well. And comes out this morning, TMZ, Variety, everybody, actually the family put out a statement. Chuck Norris did leave us here early morning here on Friday as well. Obviously, Delta Force, missing in action in terms of the movies. Walker, Texas Ranger. Which I used to always joke around that's the old people's show there on CBS back in the day and everything. Martial arts stud before he got into acting and everything. And he died Yeah, in Hawaii, where he lives and everything. The family put out a very big statement on it as well there. But, I don't know anybody that, I mean, he was a terrible, terrible actor, right? He just was firm, still just stood there. Even Texas, Walker, Texas Ranger was just, it was hard to watch. But man, he did action scenes. Of course, obviously the famous memes of toughness. He was just, here's the question I got on Chuck Norris. We've lost a lot of real tough guys out there. They're going away like uh just they're going away and people are now like getting softer here in these action movies and like the action movie stars now are have a little sensitive side to them and stuff to that and the actors and the guys like Chuck Norris are going by the wayside as they're getting older, right? Clint Eastwood's another one that's still around in his 90s who just has that tough guy persona of, hey, I'm a dude, I'm tough, I'm gonna tell you how it is, we're gonna move on with our lives, kind of a deal. So we're losing those guys as they're getting older now and moving on, and nobody's really replacing them. Tell me a guy today that's got that tough guy image without that with that side on there as well. So, um, it was sudden for Chuck Norris. He was working out. I saw a workout there 9 days ago. He turned 86, and I actually saw a workout video yesterday where it was either on his birthday or right after his birthday, where he was working out, doing some boxing stuff and things to that effect, and everything. So it was a sudden thing that's happened at 86. Let's face it, at 86, it could be any day at that point, moving forward and everything. But when I was a kid, it was always like Death Wish with Chuck Norris and those types of movies that, at least back then, as a boy, I loved him. Everybody I know loved him. Just the expanders. Obviously, it was in Expendables, and I think Expendables 2, one of those Expendables, early 2000s as well. But black belt in several martial arts, star, just an absolute star there as well. And not only did he play Walker Texas Ranger, he became an actual Texas Ranger back in the early, I think it was like 2010 time frame. But right there, around that time frame, 2009 or 2010 as well. Him and Bruce Lee were very close relationship for a bunch of years back in the 60s. I mean, that's how long ago this was, right? As well. They both were in The Way of the Dragon, I believe, is what that was back in the mid 70s for them and everything. So, um, here's the interesting thing. He's 86 years old. His mother just died in 2024. Yeah. His first wife there died back in December as well, but his mother just died a couple years ago. And he was 84 at that time, 83, 84, as he gets into it. So, so March 10th that was on his 86th birthday where he was doing martial arts stuff, beating up an opponent in Hawaii. There, he said at that time, he goes, "I don't age, I level up," as he was working on that in Hawaii and everything. But look, 86, it's literally day by day at that point. And Chuck Norris, shocking one here. I don't put him up there in the category, at least in terms of my youth, with guys like Hulk Hogan that we've lost recently and stuff to that effect. But the memes of Chuck Norris, like yesterday when they said he was in the hospital, people were like, "Is the hospital okay?" and stuff to that effect is what people are saying. He just got that tough guy persona that we're losing. We're losing the tough guy personas, man. Those guys out there and everything. So, um, you know, uh, I'm just looking here. He had 5 children. I know Mike Norris is an actor. I do know that. I know some of his stuff. And I know he had a NASCAR driver. I don't know if he still races, but Eric Norris did some racing stuff for him and stuff like that. Is another kid as well. So Chuck Norris, 86 years old, another legend leaving us, and another legend that apparently just changed a tire. Dale Hellestrae's here, everybody. How about that transition, Dale?
Steve, you have not lost all tough guy legends.
I was waiting for that. No, but if you think I know, I was waiting for you to say that because I was going to be your transition.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I could have called tow truck and said, "Hey, will you take me to the nearest discount tire?" Because I don't have a spare tire.
I told you guys he was going to bring that up. I told you.
The only truck in America that doesn't have a spare tire.
No,
Thank you.
hybrids and EVs don't have spare tires for weight purposes. It's stupid. I agree with you. It's dumb. But they don't.
I just saw it every step of the way. I was thinking, and Steve didn't do this, and Steve didn't do this.
I told you guys he was going to bring it up. I told him earlier in the show. No, but in all seriousness, welcome to the show, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm surprised, actually surprised you just didn't call in and be like, I'm going back home.
I want to bring it's Friday.
Who did you piss off on golf yesterday that they put a nail in your tire?
No, it was. It's almost worse when you see it happening.
Oh.
I'm coming down the 51,
okay.
and there's a car probably, half a mile in front of me on the left. I'm in the middle lane. We're both going about 65-ish. And it hit what looked like just a thin silver something.
Oh, yes.
Tossed it in the air. It's coming at my truck. Falls down underneath me. And it wasn't a click, click. It was a thump, thump.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what was that? And I'm like, I'm driving for about 10 more seconds, 15. I'm like, I think it's okay. And then
all been there.
Back left tire.
Ooh, back left too.
Back left.
Front one's escaped it.
Yep. But thank goodness I was right at 51 and Northern. There's an AIA office there right off the 51.
Yeah.
Able to pull in there, so I had some space. I'm not trying to.
You're not on the side of the freeway.
Yeah.
Well, when you texted me, I was almost like, want me to send Ethan up there? Where are you at? And then I was like, Ethan ain't going to be able to help him.
No. He'd come out there and look and go, Dale, pull it here.
But then I almost texted you and was like, where you at? Like, you're on the side of the freeway? Do you need my AAA number? Like, what do you need here?
Yeah, I've changed one tire on the side of I-10 at night coming back from California. Probably the scariest 20 minutes of my life.
Yeah, I got a flat tire. Ironically enough, Dale, I got a flat tire on the 51 right about Glendale, I think, right underneath the bridge.
Yeah, that's close to where I was.
Same thing. Big old chunk of thing out of my tire. I mean, a hole like this big. I don't know what I hit on the freeway. But I was on my way to the radio station back in the day. And I always left early enough that if something like that happened, I'd be fine. But again, no spare tire. This was my white Ford that I recently sold, the one that was stolen. And I had no spare tire, so I had to pull it off to the side. So I just called. I called the old producer, Jason. I called Jason. He came and got me, and picked me up, and we went to. So I'm calling AAA, and I told him, hey, the keys are in the car, whatever, and whatnot. So I get done with the station. I get done with the show. And it's still sitting there. So I'm like, all right. So Jason takes me back there. And I'm like, I'll just wait for the tow truck guy to show up. I get back there and it has all those red stickers on it of, can't park here. We'll tow this at this time if it's not gone. And I'm like, really?
You can't see I got a flat tire?
But the best part was, Dale, we saw the guy, like we were pulling in, and the guy pulls out and leaves right as we're pulling up. And I'm like, we're here, dude. But I'm sitting in the passenger side of that car, waiting for the tow truck guy to show up. There's not a lot of room.
No.
Even if I had a spare, I wasn't changing it there. And the tow truck driver comes up and he's like, oh, hey, he goes, go ahead and get in the cab. He goes, this is kind of dicey. And I'm like, yeah, you think? But I'm in the passenger side just like, this is how I go. This is where I go right here on the 51. So, yeah, I couldn't imagine getting that there. But you're able to get off at Northern and get on that. Good for you.
Yeah, this He-Man throwing around the spare tire.
How fast did you change it? Well, you change it pretty quick if you're here at 8:20.
Yeah. I mean, I just lifted the truck with my left hand, threw the tire on with my right hand, did the lug nuts.
Better be careful. NASCAR will be asking you to come and be a pit changer for him.
Yeah.
But all seriousness, Dale, when you walked in, I was previewing the show, and then, of course, Chuck Norris dying this morning.
Yes.
But isn't that true, though? I was thinking about it this morning when I saw that right as the show was happening. The tough guys, those tough guys are leaving us. Who's taking their spot? Nobody.
Well, they're trying to make like that Jason
Momoa?
No, the little guy, but fights a lot.
Statham.
Yeah.
Yeah, the British guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
they're making those guys.
Yeah,
the
but
tough
he's
guys.
5'2".
Yeah. No, the guys like I think Chuck Norris is in another category than like Arnold Schwarzenegger is, and stuff like that. He's like a Clint Eastwood type guy for me, and stuff. But yeah, no, I was thinking about that. Like, man, those guys are going, and that's the thing. There's still tough guys out there, but they have, I don't know, they have a sensitive side to them, or so, I don't know how else to explain it. But they're not that tough guy, type of a deal.
They're
where
a
you're
tough
just
guy
like-
when they need to be a tough guy.
Yeah, but they're also nice and everything. But no, you're not gonna mess with them.
Not gonna mess with them by reputation, and they're not gonna mess with you unless you mess with them, and that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, so
Chuck Norris's grandkid, one of the grandkids, went to school with Hillary in Dallas.
really.
Yeah. So,
Well, yeah, because obviously he's from Texas.
yeah,
Spent a lot of time there.
and so we met him at a couple different functions for the
Ooh.
school and all that.
Did he give you the stare?
Well, he's more impressed with me than I was.
Oh, because you were a cowboy?
Yeah.
The one thing he probably was always jealous of. It should have been a football player.
Yeah, not at his size.
Yeah, he's a short dude.
Yeah.
He was a short guy. So, yeah, there we go. So that's breaking news this morning. Dale, the other big thing, since you're here so early, I was going to open the show with this and everything, but, since you made an excuse on why you couldn't get here on time, I just assume you were upset because on your Holmberg hit yesterday, you got overtaken by an NHRA three-time champion and a rookie from NHRA, which is in town this weekend.
Yep.
I thought you were just mad about that you had a shared time with them yesterday in your little deal.
I can tell you what, I forgot that I met the guy driver. I forget his name already.
You'd met him before?
Yeah, I'd met him before. He'd been on the show one time before. Nice, super nice guy, three-time champion.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know.
And
the NHRA.
gosh, it's just 350 miles an hour in 3-4 seconds.
And you're done. Then you're done.
Yes.
Dale. Yeah.
And then
It's like a Disneyland ride. You sit in line for 3 hours. You get on that thing. A minute later, you're off of it,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, now what do we do?
the young lady is on his team and just getting started.
She's a rookie, right? It's
Yeah.
like first or second race, I think.
And
I didn't. I listened to a little bit of it yesterday, but then I was like, whatever.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
like,
wanna- I don't want to hear Dale.
You're like, hold on, I've listened to 15 minutes. My name hasn't come up. I know you.
I got distracted. I had other things to do. But no, yeah, no. I know of her because obviously I'm not an HRA guy. I'm not a guy that's going to go
Okay.
out there this weekend. It bores the living crap. It's spectacular what they do.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. It's just because, like you said, 3-4 seconds, 300 miles an hour, and then just even as a fan, you're like,
All right, what do we do for
20
10 minutes?
20 minutes.
Is it 20?
oh my god! And then if somebody crashes and stuff goes everywhere, it's even longer. And you're just like, there's a reason NHRA is played at like midnight on tape delay.
Okay.
It's because they edit it to where these cars race quickly every time. There's a lot of sitting around just staring at yourself.
Well, gosh, what is his name?
I don't know, I'm just gonna look it up here because I forgot it as well. It's not justice for him.
Yes.
He's super popular in that era and
Yeah,
stuff like
well,
that.
he's a
so.
super nice guy.
He seemed like it.
He's 60 years
Yeah,
old
that's
doing
it.
this
He's
stuff.
All okay. Like John Forrest is like 80 something, and he's just quit because of his last big accident. Like all those guys they don't stop doing it when they
God.
get old. Being, just imagine the G forces on you.
No,
when you
they
go
said
from
it's crazy.
0 to whatever, 300 for those 3 seconds, and then even then you let off the accelerator when you pass the line and the parachute comes out. Just imagine that. How's your heart even stay attached?
Yeah.
How is it not 3 feet in front of you as well? So I'm getting it here. Ron Capps.
Yes, Ron Capps. And
Maddie Gordon is the gal's name who's just starting. It's only like her second or third race
yes,
this weekend.
he's
out
on
there.
his team, and boy, she
Is she a looker?
she is a
I
looker.
can tell.
She
You're
is
not-
a looker.
You're not getting in an NHRA car unless you're a looker. So.
Yeah. Well, they offer me track tickets or what passes.
You going?
No.
Why not? After I just oversold it on how boring it is.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of walking too, I heard, but they said they'd send a golf cart for me.
Once you get in there, it doesn't have to be a lot of walking. You
Right.
can just sit down and go. It's going to be hot though.
Yes.
Concrete.
Well, they said they moved the races to earlier.
Did they? I
Yeah.
didn't see that. See, I have no interest in going, so that's why I haven't even looked into it. I had to get out of the heat a little. Yeah, but because it's usually an afternoon event. So if they moved it to it's still look when it's 100 degrees out, 10, 11 o'clock is still pretty freaking hot. Now, not as hot as it will be at 2 or 3.
Right.
Oh, so they did move them up.
They moved them up, and then if you make the finals, I guess, on Sunday, it's still slated for 3 o'clock.
And then, so when it gets hot out there, the pavement becomes sticky.
Yeah, that's what they're talking
so they have
about.
They go out and they water it down between, so then it extends the time between guys running is because they have to water it down and cool it down, so
Right.
these guys don't get affected by the heat on the freshly tarred road. You can see the heat coming off of it too. Woo-wee! Have fun out there, everybody. I don't mean to knock NHRA. Well, I do. It's boring. If they could find a way to have the next car ready to go pretty quickly,
Yeah, the next race.
yeah, like just have like a tunnel where guys just line up. One guy goes, phew. You do all the track surface stuff and everything. He pulls into the spot and he's ready to go again. That'd be perfect. But like I said, God forbid somebody hit a wall and pieces fly out everywhere. Because then you got guys out there just walking down the stretch looking for pieces and picking them, and you're just like, we're gonna be here all day for the next one.
What was that girl's name? Maddie?
Maddie something.
That's,
Maddie Gordon, I believe. Maddie Gordon, yes.
Oh, she's number 2 on the list.
What list?
All you got to type in is Maddie, and yeah.
Well, how many Maddies are there out there?
I don't know.
For you, Tony Stewart, NASCAR guy, for a lot of years. His wife's into NHRA. He has an NHRA team now and everything. So, how many Maddies are there in the famous world is my question.
334 miles per hour is her career best speed.
How old is she? Did they ask?
21.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I know she's young, but yeah, born in May 10th, 2004. Dale.
Yes, because she was very interested in the Super Bowl because that's how John introduces. We have 3-time NHRA champion, and we have 3-time Super Bowl champion Dale Hellestrain.
I think even in that room, if something happened to that building and I was in that room, she would be mentioned before me.
Oh, well, of course,
going back to the deal. Yeah, I'm just saying. That would be like John Holmberg, Brady, Dale Hellestrain, Ron Capps, Matty Gordon, and I'm who's the other guys on the show? All them. And then somebody else was in there. And that'll be me.
Well, I can tell you what, her pictures on whatever she's on here do not do her justice.
Maybe she dolled up for the Holmberg show. She knew the Helly was coming in.
She's very cute.
Maybe you knew that.
Fun, great personality. Got a hell of a handshake.
Usually, this is what's weird. Usually, NHRA people are nice.
Yeah.
Like they're really friendly and stuff, which I would think would be the opposite. I think they'd be look. You strap yourself into something that goes that fast and could explode at any second. I would consider you to have a little bit of an ego.
Yeah.
You have to be a little confident.
Or maybe you don't because of that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. But they're super friendly people. I don't think I've ever met. I used to know somebody that was a marketing director out there, like led the whole marketing down there for a bunch of years. So we'd go all the time. This was 15, 20 years ago. We'd go all the time when they came into town because we get, marketing access, if you know what I mean. And so we get really good seats, not in the sun and stuff. And just everybody I've ever met out there has just always been super friendly, super nice, and everything. But yeah, I would think that guys like that would just have a little bit of an ego, like with their attitude, just because they're like, what'd you do today? Because I just drove this thing 300 miles an hour.
I would have a little attitude if I was able to do that.
It's like fighter pilots, right?
Yeah. You have to have a little arrogance.
You have to be a little confident in your abilities with what you're doing out there and everything. So.
Yeah, she was telling me afterwards, we all talked for about 15, 20 minutes. She played softball at Penn State. She's like an All-American.
How come you didn't hook me up with this time? Oh, I get
because I knew you'd bitch and moan about, I didn't want to go out there again.
You had no
I was just out there 2 weeks ago.
You have no. It's a different thing, dude. That one's actually closer to the house. That's right. That's the one down south on I-10. You drive by it on your way down to Tucson.
Oh, really?
It's
It's not
that
out
one.
of PIR?
No.
Oh.
No,
You
Dale's
still
like,
wouldn't
"Oh,
have gone."
I should have gone.
I go, hey, Steve, I got your pick your
Text
tickets.
your boy and say I changed my mind. I want to show up. Let's go. I don't want to go. I would go if it's free, but I'm not going to go. It's hot. It's going to be too hot. It's going to be too hot. They'll give me free tickets.
You have anything to do this weekend?
No, I'm doing. You know what I'm doing this weekend? Watching basketball, watching UFC, staying inside. Taxes. I got the company taxes. I gotta button up and everything, and for so then I can get into the personal taxes stuff and things to that effect. So I got to do a bunch of stuff like that. So that's gonna be my weekend, folks. If you want to know the truth. Good thing there's college basketball on all weekends. I can watch that.
Ooh.
Keep me entertained while I'm staring at numbers.
From about 9:30 to 9 at night. Well, I guess
it's a little
Saturday,
bit less
Sunday
on
would be
Saturday,
less.
Sunday.
Yeah.
It's a little bit less, but most of the day. And then you got, UFC tomorrow I'll have on as well. Then Sunday, got the regular NASCAR with basketball on while I'm just sitting in front of the computer.
What does
Trying to defraud
what
the
did Lou
government.
say about this week's UFC stuff?
Just looking forward to it.
Okay.
Looking forward to
Curious.
it. Yeah, no, it's I brought up the fact that I'm kind of bored with some of these cards, and he's like, "Well, I'll tell you." Lou, he's just very straight.
Well, on Twitter, he's been a little more voiceful
I know,
than
but
that.
I mean, it's tough for Lou because he's a dog better, and it went 13-1 to favorites last week,
Yeah.
and then 77% favorites for this year alone. Hard to pick some dogs when that's happening out there, and it's like this week. There's favorites that are like 800 plus, minus 800. It's like, okay, great. He's going to knock the guy out early if he does what he's supposed to do. And that's fun and exciting, Dale, but it's kind of like NHRA or, like I said, the Disneyland line. Watch him come in. You go through all that fiasco. 30 seconds later, a guy's laying on his back and the fight's over. And you're like, all right, what am I going to do for the next 15 minutes while I wait for the next fight? The difference is, though, this is a daytime fight.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause
Main card's
it's
at 1 because
overseas.
it's in London, yeah. So 10 a.m. Prelims as well. So, yeah. So there we go. But, yeah, so that's what I love to break out my weekend. Because I'd go out to Luke Days if I had the time, which is the free stuff out there at Luke Air Force Base. Thunderbirds and Blue Angels are both going to be there
Really?
this weekend. Both of them. I'd love to go out there for that. One, it's hot. One, that's a long drive. But I can't. I have to buckle down this week. Buckle down,
Well,
Dale.
So is there a significant week to this weekend?
What?
Like, why are they performing this weekend? It's not like,
It's just Luke Days. They do it every year
okay.
around this time frame.
I didn't know if it was holiday or
No.
I'm missing something or.
No, they do Luke. It's celebrates which I don't have Ethan this weekend, so I was like, ooh, that'd be fun to take Ethan to. I don't think he's looking at the military anymore, but if he was, I'd be like, that'd be a good thing to take him to because I'm pushing him to. I'm like, if you sign up for anything, it's the Air Force. You sit on your Barker Lounger and stuff like that instead of the Army and the Marines and the Navy when you're on a ship all the time,
Your Barker Lounge.
swabbing the decks. Hey, Dale, so that's the weekend. There's a lot of stuff to do this weekend out there and everything. Go out there and see Maddie. Like I said, if you get the pit passes and stuff like that, I did listen to the beginning of it. I didn't get to the entertainment center and stuff like that, but I did listen to it, and I was like, what? I go, she probably will talk your ear off when you go out there.
Yeah.
Like, she sounded very friendly. You can
She is
pick up
very,
on that.
very friendly.
And stuff
Has
like
a
that.
handshake rivals any dude I shook hands
Well,
with.
Yeah, well, she's gripping that steering wheel,
Yeah.
man, to hang on.
You just have to be prepared. Don't go up there with a little girly
Yeah,
handshake.
you're like, I'll try to be polite.
Yeah.
She crushes your
Yeah.
fingers.
Ow!
What do you got going on this weekend besides getting a new spare tire?
Well, I'm going to go do that after the show. Seems out this, this is a good question. Maybe one of our viewers or listeners would give us an answer. So, spare tire says speed limit 50 to 55.
Because it's not a full size one, yeah.
How accurate is that?
I don't know. Try it out. Let us know.
Has anybody done that? Has anybody pushed it to 65?
I do. Okay. I do know somebody. I do know people that have driven on spare donuts before
Right.
for long times, like on freeways and stuff. Yeah, nothing's ever happened to them.
I mean, I'm going to Discount Tire right after
No, you'll
this,
be
but
fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. You're fine. Which
Push
one are you
it.
going to? The one up on Camelback or whatever?
push. I don't know
You
where
gonna
the
make it to
closest
Tatum?
one. I don't know where the closest one is here.
Well, I know there's one on Tatum there by that Outback and everything. You know, where you turn Tatum and I get them confused where the cross streets are. I know that because
Tatum and Cactus.
that's the one I went to when I had the flat. They towed it to that one because they were the one that could get it in quicker. The one downtown, don't go to the one in downtown Phoenix. Like there's one in North downtown. I've tried that place like 3 times before, and they're like, "Oh, we're booked up. We can't look at it till tomorrow." And I'm like, that's the whole point of your existence is to get the nail out of my tire so I don't have a flat on my way home. It'll take you 2 seconds, Tiger. Oh, we can't look at it till tomorrow. We're so busy.
Well, they're probably rolling their eyes on the phone at their buddy going, this guy is not going to change his own tire.
I don't have a give me a tire and I will change it. I'll buy a tire from you and I will change the tire. Yeah, no, you'll be fine wherever you're going. I just wouldn't be on it, especially with you got a big SUV type car, like big expensive. What was that? What that thing around 100 grand, 120,
Jeez.
something like that?
Not as much as yours.
Mine came in at 40, man. Mine came in at 40 grand. It's not as expensive as you think.
Well,
My
mine was
negotiation skill.
Well,
My negotiation skills.
Mine was pre-owned.
I know. Yeah,
The Lincoln doesn't consider used. They say it's pre-owned.
It's been pre-owned inspected.
Yes.
Which means, yeah, I knew there. Ethan says there's a discount tire on Thomas.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna lose Ethan. He's spring break ends this weekend. So we're gonna lose our researcher and everything. I knew there was one closer. I was just trying to think of where it's at.
I'm kind of surprised that he didn't take today off.
But
Since
for
it
his
was
last day,
yeah.
he wants the money. He wants the moolah. Here comes a when are you gonna pay me comment. I'm waiting for it. There it is.
Well, you got to pay him before he goes to his mom's.
Right? Just transferred into his bank account and stuff like that. The other big news, Dale? Well, besides the tire, what are you doing this weekend? Graham have some baseball?
Graham has baseball. Going to try and golf tomorrow afternoon.
The hottest. Well, today's the hottest, they say, and then tomorrow's supposed to cool down a little bit.
A little bit.
Yuma hit 110 yesterday, folks. Dale, 110 yesterday.
Well, it's the first day. It's the first day of spring today.
Yeah, great. My house was fairly cool. Have the air running constantly.
We actually turned the air conditioner on yesterday late afternoon.
I turned my upstairs at 78 while we were gone all day.
Yeah.
And I was downstairs yesterday. I don't go upstairs. I stay downstairs the whole time unless I have to go up there. And the air just blows. It's 78. Downstairs I keep it 77 because the cool air from upstairs comes downstairs. So it kind of is a nice blend. But I get chilly in there when the air blows. I know it's weird. But I went upstairs last night at 78, and the air just runs at 78, shuts down, whatever, 79. As long as the air is on, it's cold. It doesn't matter what I set it at, the air blowing. But when it turns off, I was like sitting out there, and I was like sweaty. The second it would click off. So I had to turn it down to 76 to get that airflow going.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, Dale. It's March. These are summer problems.
We're setting records. Supposedly this weekend. This is the average temperature for the middle of June.
Yeah. Oh, we haven't even been this hot ever in the month of April.
Yeah.
The first time ever in March to hit these temperatures. Never in April. That's how early we're hitting it. Dale, this summer is going to be ridiculous. I told you. I'm telling you. This week. Oh, that's the other thing I'm doing this weekend. Scouting little shacks in Alaska that have internet. I'll do the show this summer, Dale, but I'm doing it from Alaska. Highs of 60s every day. And I have to fight off polar bears. I'd rather fight off polar bears. Regular bears, whatever's in Alaska, I don't even care. I'd rather fight them off than be in this heat this summer. Ridiculous. All this distraction.
Yeah, but the
because
sun never goes down in
I don't-
Alaska in the
I don't
summer.
care. Blackout curtains. I don't care. I'll be in a sweatshirt. It's like when you go to San Diego, like, the last couple of years we've gone to San Diego for the July 4th holiday and stuff like that. And we go see fireworks. And like literally, like during the day, it's hot, so I'm in shorts and a shirt, and you sweat. It's like, all right, we're gonna go out for the night. We have to go back to the hotel and make sure we get pants on. And the girls grab sweaters. But then
Yep.
you're out there, 7, 8 o'clock, sun's down, and you're like, oh, it's a little chilly out here. So 104 today, 102 tomorrow, Dale, for your afternoon golfing if you can. 101 Sunday, and then Monday 98.
Oh, it's cooling off. Cold front moving through.
Yeah, but we're staying in those high 90s, man. It ain't going down. Even the 29th Sunday, 93 degrees. That's the coolest we get. Other than that, we're 98, 99 and stuff. Oh. Hey, the other big news out there, Dale. I know you're excited about this. You've
Okay.
been waiting for this. You're going to cancel your trip to the Hall of Fame, the NFL Hall of Fame for Larry because you wanted to go to that. And you've already booked that trip. You're going to cancel that now, you were telling me? Dennis Rodman is being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame coming up. April 17th in Las Vegas, WrestleMania 42 weekend. Dale, where are we going?
What did he wrestled like 2 events.
Yeah, but they put all those guy Trumps in there. They put all the stars that wrestle, for namesake and whatever. Yeah. April 17th, Dolby Live in Las Vegas. Obviously, that's ahead of the WrestleMania 42 weekend. He's going to join Stephanie McMahon, AJ Styles, and Demolition in the class of 2026.
AJ Styles, isn't he a top 10 draft pick this year?
He's the one that retired and lost his match. And then retired instantly. Dennis Rodman, of course, back in the day, I mean, he teamed up with Hulk Hogan. He was on Hulk Hogan's team for a while and in the NWO and all that stuff. It was fantastic.
Huh.
It was a fantastic time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he do that during the NBA Finals one year? Or?
No, I think that was just a Vegas trip where he just went and partied in Vegas
Okay.
in the finals one year. He did one time. No, he skipped a Bulls practice, if I remember. I'm pretty sure it was a Bulls practice, but it was during the NBA Finals and everything. He wrestled like Carmelo or somebody. I'm pretty sure it was Carmelo. Yeah, that was that final year where they competed against each other. He missed the Bulls practice to go wrestle Carmelo. Let me look that up real quick here.
Well, it's interesting. I do remember Michael's story. He talked about Phil Jackson coming to Michael and said, "Hey, Robin needs a break. He needs a break."
Well, I think that was the Vegas trip they did.
He needs to get away.
And then he like almost missed his plane back, and somebody goes in there, and he's got him and Carmelo Electra are like passed out on the bed. It was a great story. Yep, right here. 1990. He skipped a practice during the 98 NBA Finals for a wrestling match alongside Hulk Hogan as well. So there he goes.
Not many guys get away with that, Steve.
No. Well, today a lot more do than they used to. That was unusual back then to do it. But now, Dennis Rodman, 2 Hall of Fames, basketball, and now WWE coming up April 17th. Now, I know you're excited about that. What does Dennis Rodman look like today?
Who knows?
Has he settled down? Is his hair still all crazy? Does he still have the stuff in his
Watch him
face?
come out all straight laced and
Got a Gucci suit
Yeah.
on.
want to talk to you youngsters.
Yeah, let me tell you guys.
Yeah.
Stay off the drugs because this is what you look like. He has an old picture of him. The Bulls did fine him $20,000 when he went to that wrestling match with Hulk Hogan.
And that might have been a wink, wink.
Yeah, that was, yeah. I think he played well too, right? I think he played well when he came back. It wasn't like then he sucked. But then again, Michael Jordan would play 18 holes or 36 holes before a game too.
Right.
That's not any different than going to a wrestling match to best practice.
Smoke cigars, probably have a couple drinks on the course.
Out in the sun,
Yeah.
where you now players today have to take naps before their game. A pregame nap, and then wake up with broken ankle problems. So we have all that news going on, Dale. Let's take our break here. Come on back. We got D1 rules changes, Dale. Excited about, but not really excited. Lots of college basketball is a new day today. Arizona plays this morning. 10:25 our time, I believe. We'll look to get that up to you. As well, ASU women lose last night. We'll talk a little bit about that. Dale Torrey in the closer situation. It's another year of just BS from this Diamondbacks team. Come on back. Main Event Friday! And we're back here, Friday edition. Dale's lamenting on what it'd be like to be 21 again. Don't forget, Pit Stop Up right now for this week. Catch it on demand on our YouTube page, TME Media AZ. On YouTube, you can catch it now. Of course, free podcast. Follow me at the Pit Stop Talk on X as well. Up right now as well. As soon as we're done here, Dale, we'll get this up on demand as well for everybody to catch us on YouTube and everything. Where do you want to start at, Dale? Basketball, college football. College football.
I don't know if you spent enough time singing my praises about a 63-year-old guy just jumping out of the car, getting the owner's manual out.
We got breaking news right now, too. What the heck is happening today?
Popping out my spare tire.
That's impressive. I asked that question to open the show. I said, do you think he's changing his own tire right now?
Oh, did you?
I did.
And what would you have bet on?
If I were you, I would have turned on the show and listened to it. While I was changing the tire, I would have given you motivation. I was all doing, it's the eye of the tiger, and he's ready to change the tire.
All I'm thinking is
he's getting all greasy while he's moving the lug nut thing.
I could be sitting here waiting for a tow truck, or I could do my best to get in with Steve.
Yeah, well, Dale, I would change my own tire too, but they didn't give me the ability to do it. Hey, seriously though, good job. Congratulations. I'll give you all the fine in the world. Dale, you impress me more and more every day.
All right. So what
did old lady stop? Did lady stop to help you and be like, oh my God, I got to help that old man change the tire?
Nobody helped.
Nobody even stopped, huh?
No,
well, that guy's got it.
Well, at the AIA office, I don't think they open till 9.
Yeah, they weren't there. Yeah,
that's kind of when a young whippersnapper would move in, come pulling in.
No, they would have been like the refs just bury their head in the sand.
Hey, Dale, you need some help? Yeah, I wouldn't turn it down.
They would have been all, hey, we suspended all of the team and got sued, so we had to let them play again. We can't help him change the tire. We don't have lawyers to do that. Sorry, AIA. Love you. Love what you do. Hey, no, in all seriousness here, Dale, we got to get serious again for a minute. We talked about Chuck Norris earlier in the show. Mean Joe Green has left us now as well.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Today?
Yep, today, this morning. I don't see, let's preface this. I see it from one place. Let's see here, Adam Schefter or something. My feed is just full of basketball stuff right now out there, but I've seen it at a couple outlets. Schefter doesn't have it yet, so maybe it's not. Maybe it's not real.
Why would somebody throw that out there?
Well, it's somebody that wouldn't lie about it and would know. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to out them in case it is incorrect out there. But I'm seeing reports as well. I'm seeing reports of it out there. Let's just put it that way. We're seeing reports of Mean Joe Green. Maybe it's too early. Maybe somebody lied. But I am seeing reports.
Why do you want to be the first to that?
Right. Steelers would probably jump all over that one as well. Yeah, the last post from the Steelers was about signing their punter. So maybe we're too early on that. Maybe I apologize if that's the case. But I am seeing reports of that being true. So we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe I jumped the gun on that. No, but seriously, the person that did put it out there is in the know. So let's just put it that way. Oh, yeah. So anyway, we'll keep our eye on that. I might have been wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Let's put it that way. I hope
I'm on Twitter right now.
Schefter doesn't have it yet.
I see. Yeah, I don't see anything. I think you might have jumped the gun, Steve.
Yeah, Wikipedia hasn't been updated yet on there. So maybe it did jump the green a little bit. I'm telling you, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 people reporting it. And one of them doesn't report fake stuff. I'll just put it that way. I'm not going to say it there, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Maybe I jumped the gun on it, but I see 4 people now coming out with it. And one of them is somebody that you would trust. So I'm just going to put that out there. We'll keep our eyes on it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's wrong. Absolutely, I hope it's wrong. I don't want to see that. Did you play against me, Joe Green? You're that old? Are you the kid he beat up to get the Coke from?
Wow.
Was that you? 14 minutes ago, I'm seeing it reported on a Facebook post as well. So now that's the 6th person I'm seeing reporting on it. So we'll have to keep our eyes on it.
Huh.
None of the big guys, though. But I'm just telling you, of the 6, one of them is a source that you would trust. And I'm not going to put it out there just in case it's not real yet. So there we go. But yeah, so we might. Hopefully we're wrong, Dale. Hopefully we're wrong. Hey, really quick as we keep our eyes on that as well and get you the factual information coming out here. D1 rule changes for college football are out as of yesterday. Are you ready for this? Dale's searching the web right now to find out.
I didn't see anything. People I follow, you follow a lot of suspect people.
Well, I do, but I'm also careful in. When I get in trouble is I know there's suspect sites, but they'll post something and I'll be like, that's funny. And I'll retweet it out and then people just jump on me. That's a fake site. I'm like, I know. It's funny to me. That's what I'm talking about.
You do have a different sense of humor than most people.
Yeah, but I forget that people will jump all over me on like instantly. You're an idiot for following that site. And I'm like, I just thought it was funny. Like the coach, my favorite one was when Sharon, the Michigan coach, they said he was going to sign as like somebody with the Chargers. It was a fake site making it up. But I retweeted it and I said, oh, imagine the blonde-haired young girls that he'd be interested in San Diego. Because if you know why he got fired at Michigan, folks. So I thought it was a funny little joke. No, people didn't like it. People were all like, you're an idiot. It's a false rumor. It's not true. And I'm just like, I was kidding. But like after like 25 people were like, you're stupid for putting that. I was like, all right, I'll just delete it. Nobody finds me funny. I now know what it's like to bomb as a comedian. But Dale, D1 rules are out here, and one of the rules, they focus on targeting. Targeting. I personally hate the targeting rule. It's very arbitrary. One ref sees targeting, another ref doesn't see targeting. And sometimes it happens in the same game, right? Because it's very arbitrary on what you call out there. They're changing the rules now. A player disqualified for targeting for the first time during the season, doesn't matter when it happens. It could happen in the last minute of the game. It could happen in the first quarter. You can participate in the next game now. You don't get, so now if it happens in the first half, you can start the next game. Right now the rule is if it happens in the second half, you miss the first half of the next game. So now it doesn't translate into the next game for your first offense. You like that?
Yes, but if you get a targeting penalty in the first half of a game, you're out for the rest of that
game. Yes. So get a targeting penalty on the last play of the game, if you know what I mean. Win the game, and then you're out. There's really not that many targeting penalties, but every once in a while, a targeted penalty does affect that game. Obviously, we saw that with ASU Texas a couple years ago. That's the first one. If you get disqualified for targeting a second time during the season, you will be required to miss the first half of the next game, no matter when it happens. First half of the next game, no matter what. A third time you get disqualified for a targeting penalty, you'll be required to miss the entire next game. Here's the caveat on this. They made it really hard, Dale. Sounds harsh, right? No player has ever been disqualified for targeting 3 times in a season. So that obviously hasn't happened yet. Players don't get called for targeting constantly.
So it sounds like, hey, they're batten down the hatches, and
it sounds like they're getting harder.
But really, it hasn't come into play yet.
Yeah, players have had 2 in a season, but nobody's had 3 yet. So it sounds like they're like, oh, we're cutting down on targeting, but you're really not. They're really not on that side. Now you can still appeal it and everything after. You can appeal it after a second targeting offense. So if you get a targeting offense and you can't appeal that one because you already missed the rest of that game. So you won't be able to appeal that as well. So, and then when you do get your second one, though, the appeal can cover the first and second targeting. But after one, you can't appeal it. But after you do get the second one, you can appeal the other 2 as well and look at that stuff as well. So, obviously if it's overturned, you can play in the next game. There's no penalty other than missing that first game. That's the problem. That's what I hate about this. So I get targeted. It's the wrong call. You appeal it. Let's say it's my second one. You appeal it. And they go, oh, neither one of your calls were targeting. Yeah, but you took out a good player from the game that he's in.
For a quarter, a half, or 3/4 of a game.
Could be 3.5 quarters. Could be the first play of the game and you're out of it. I think that's the stupidest rule I've ever seen on the planet. You should be able to figure this out in real time. Because if you're going to kick somebody out, don't you want to get it right in the moment, Dale?
Well, that's why they go to the replay. You think they
get it right. But the replays don't even know what targeting is. This is the problem with it. Nobody knows what targeting is. We've all seen players ejected for targeting. We've seen them throw flags and look at things for targeting. And you're like, that's not even close to targeting. Right. And they go to the thing and they go, it's not targeting. And they threw the flag anyway. So you get the 15-yard penalty for targeting, but they don't give you the targeting penalty and you're not ejected. It's the stupidest rule on the planet. They're trying to make it better, so let's give them credit for that, Dale. But it's stupid. You need to get rid of the arbitrary side of things on this.
It doesn't, and it seems like it should be, in my mind, pretty simple. If the player uses the crown of the helmet to another player's helmet, it's targeting.
And I would even, but here's the problem, though. This is what I hate about it, too. An offensive player can fall down, duck, and then you have a crown to the helmet to the other guy's helmet. When he was going for the midsection, and the offensive player moved his head down. So now you've got a targeting situation that you can't avoid because you're going 100 miles an hour. That's why I hate this rule. Now, you should be able to look at a play and go, that guy did. That guy launched.
Was there intent?
That guy launched with intent to lay that guy out. Boom, you're out. Other than that, get rid. It's too arbitrary for me, is what I'm saying. going forward. The other rule that they're changing, but they are trying to improve it. I will give them that. They're trying to improve it and keep safety in the game. So I'll give them credit for that. I think the whole targeting rule is stupid. Then you got the fair catch kick is now available as well. So a team can choose to attempt a kick after a completed or awarded fair catch. This is the NFL has this. This is that one where somebody punts to you and you get the ball at like the 50-yard line. Fair catch it. You can kick a field goal after that. That usually comes in late in the game as well.
Yeah, it's usually late in the game, but secondly, that probably comes up once a year.
It's very rare.
If not every other year.
I don't know why you're putting this into the rule book. Because I think in my lifetime, I only remember seeing it once. I do remember people talking about the option to do it.
Oh, yeah.
But I've never seen anybody actually do it because the punter can kick it too far and then you can't do it.
In my 11 years in Dallas, we practiced that.
Did you really?
Quite a bit.
You practiced?
And I don't think we ever used it in the game.
Every once in a while, like a Chris Collingsworth will be like, oh, you could do the free drop kick here if you do this or this or that. And then it never comes to fruition. The kick will be a field goal place kick with a holder, no tee, so like a field goal, or a drop kick from the spot where the returner caught the ball. So they're giving you options there as well. If the kick goes to the uprights, it's 3 points. But here's the thing, a drop kick, here's the thing. Now, field goal kickers can kick 60-yarders now. A drop kick, you can kick those a lot farther, Dale. You're down by 2 points late in the game, and they're punting to you. Your kickoff specialist practices drop kicks all the time for safeties and stuff like that. You know how far those guys can kick them, Dale. You can get 3 points. You can get an 80-yard field pointer if a guy can punt it 80 yards with that drop kick. Good for them. Let's do it. I want to see it.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know in the indoor football league they had a thing where if you drop kick the extra point, you get 2 points.
Yeah. But that had to hit the ground and then you kick it. That had a variable to it. A drop kick here is just like after a safety where you're dropping it and punting. You know?
Oh.
Yeah, that's what that is. I don't think it has to hit the ground like it does in the IFL.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's different.
Here's the thing. If it goes through, it's 3 points is what you get. The defense is required to be at least 10 yards from the spot of the kick. So it's an unchallengeable kick on top of it. It's not like a field goal where you have guys lining up that can put their hands up and stuff. No, you have to be 10 yards back. Means you ain't blocking that. It can come out as low as possible. Anyway, I think it's dumb that they're putting this stuff in.
Boy, you just think everything's dumb.
Come on back, folks. Second hour main event next.
Change my own tire.
All right, digging into this. One of the people I see on here is a Steeler guy.
So do you have retraction to make, Steve?
No, I'm not doing it. I'm just telling you. I see it in 6 different places, and one of them, I'm not going to out them, but one of them's close to the Steelers. That's the one I went off of earlier. Maybe. I'm going to recheck it for now. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm not wishing that this is true.
Kind of sounds like you are.
I hope it's wrong. Second hour main event. I'm your humble host who sometimes gets it wrong, Stephen McCollum. 17-year NFL veteran Dale Hellestrae's here as well. We didn't get to your intro today, Dale.
And he never gets it wrong.
You missed it earlier today, Dale. I said, hey, if you're wondering where the eye candy on the show is, he's changing a tire right now.
Yeah.
What I said
Get
earlier.
a lot of honking and
show me some leg. Woo!
Quit bending over.
What school did Mean Joe Green go to, incidentally enough?
He went to North Texas State, Steve.
Something like that, yeah.
No, it's something like that.
Was it North Texas State or North Texas?
No, it's the same thing.
Is it?
Yeah, it might have changed its name. It's North Texas.
Yeah, North Texas.
Denton, Texas.
Where's Denton, Texas at?
North of Dallas, about 45 miles.
Is that the Green Wave?
Yeah.
Whatever they're called nowadays?
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him. Conflicting reports. So ignore me now. Ignore me until we have it later and stuff like that. The NFL plans to use replacement officials if needed in 2026, Dale. Yes. It's not good. They're planning on it now. They're putting the order in place moving forward. We were talking the D1 rule changes in football there as well. Other just changes here. Punts were jersey number exceptions, meaning players that don't wear numbers 50 to 79 is what that means. When punts where jersey number exceptions are used, so if you have like a number 1 returning the punt or what, like a receiver, a snapper and 2 adjacent linemen on either side who are lined up in the tackle box are ineligible receivers by position and become exceptions to the numbering rule when the snapper takes his position. These are the rules that come up. Apparently, Dale, there was some question marks on what players are eligible receivers in the punt formation. Obviously for fake punt situations is what. There's confusion on who's eligible to catch a pass.
Right.
In a fake punt situation. But that's the stuff that these rules lean into and stuff like that as well. So they did say, though, that the football rules subcommittee here for Division I, they said, quote, we're comfortable with the administration of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, unquote. So they like the way the unsportsmanlike penalties are called and things to that.
Right.
Okay, so they reiterated that in this as well. But the other big one here is that will affect teams' offensive pass interference penalties. 10 yards now. It used to be 15. Now it's only 10.
Yeah, I always remember college and the NFL have a few different.
This is college.
Yeah.
Why in the world would a offensive pass interference only be 10 yards, but a defensive one's 15? Why? It's pass interference. Shouldn't it be the same? Why does the offense get an easier battle out of this?
Scoring, Steve. It's all about scoring.
I expect you to go, I've never seen an offensive pass interference ever in my life.
Scoring, Steve.
They did not approve a proposal that would have required players to wear leg coverings from the top of their shoes to the bottom of their pants.
I don't know. Some of these guys,
they're wearing shorts, Dale.
Yes. They only have a knee pad area.
No, it cuts off in their mid thigh. And we're not talking punters or something like that, field goal kickers. We're talking there's a safety out there that his pants cut off at his thigh level.
Imagine
it's
how
a safety
and athletic I could have been. I didn't have to wear knee braces.
You think that's what that guy's like?
Pads.
I'm a superstar with these shorts on. You give me knee pads and pants that go down to my knees. Barely eligible for D1.
Yeah.
I'd be a D2 player at that point. It slows you down that much?
Yes.
I've seen, man, when you played, you guys wore big old shoulder pads and everything. I mean, those things were like this tall.
We were more concerned about avoiding injury than we were about how we looked. Now it's about how cool do I look on the field.
I remember when I was playing soccer growing up, like the older you got, the less you wore the shin pads and stuff like that because you're like, oh, they're just so annoying. Like you just have like the sliding ones that barely covered it, and every once in a while you would take something off the shin, like a cleat or a shoe or something, and you were just like, "Why am I doing this?" To this day, my shins are all beat up because of it, and all I had to do was freaking put in some shin guards, man.
Didn't look cool.
Oh lordy, ASU spring practice is underway. I found this interesting. The ASU went out. I tried to find his name, and I couldn't find it. Arizona State went out. They've struggled in special teams these last couple of years, field goal kicking, punting, specifically. They went out and they hired a guy who used to be a long snapper in the NFL for a bunch of years, and everything. They went out and they hired him, and he's in here, and he's specifically working with punters, long snappers, the field goal kickers, and everything in this offseason. Remember last year, I kind of questioned, like, they're just not focusing on this in the offseason. And that's why it struggles when you get into the game. They went out and hired somebody specifically for that role here for spring practice. I don't know if they paid attention to it in years past. My assumption is they did not. They just kind of, hey, punters, field goal guys, you go do whatever. We're practicing on the real guys here. But this year, at least, it looks like they're taking that to heart.
Well, we'll see if it pays any dividends come regular season.
The guy's name is Ohio State. Oh, I'm sorry. Mike Coach. The coach is Mike Skiffries. Scifres.
Cyphries.
He's the punting and kicking coach here for Arizona State now as well. So
I don't think he was a long snapper. I think he
um,
was a punter.
was he a punter?
I think.
Okay, maybe I misread.
Don't quote me on that, but I don't know why you would hire a long snapper to coach punters, kickers.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a long snapper. So you're right. He might have been a punter.
Not handsome, good looking.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
He's his. I'll put it this way: the Ohio State transfer punter for Arizona State right here, Nick McLarty, and then the other punter on there right now, Kenyon Floyd. They're bigger than him, so he's not a long time. Yeah, you're right. But they hired somebody specifically to work with these guys. Punting has been an issue the last couple of years. So at least this season, we got to give them credit. They're focusing on that here over at Arizona State Spring Traffic as well. Speaking of Arizona State, Dale, did you watch the Molly Miller time last night against Virginia?
I watched a lot of it.
Man, they were down big at halftime. You're like, this is a tough game. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back. They fought their way back. I was watching the Suns game because that was an exciting game. It was going back and forth, and man, they hit that three there to tie it up with under a minute to go. Virginia went down, hit the three. They went back and forth on it. ASU had a chance to win it. Wasn't able to do anything with it and ultimately lose there. But the fight on this team is amazing to watch.
A very nice, tantalizing start for the Molly Miller regime.
In the first year.
Yes.
Okay, I said it before you got here today, and I'm gonna show you. Molly Miller sat down in the media. I watched the whole thing. I've noticed something about. Because I remember earlier this year with Bobby Hurley, I said Bobby Hurley doesn't look like he fits into this program here at Arizona State because he just looks like a stick in the mud, angry all the time, and all that stuff. It's fascinating watching Molly Miller's press conference last night. She shows up to the game. She's sick, and they're talking to her. She's on the court going, "I'm not going to miss this for the world. You know, I want to be here for this."
Yeah.
Just hearken in your own mind here what Kenny Dillingham did after last year, but even this year with a disappointing season. What he talked about here with his seniors, how the foundation's been built and stuff like that. Molly Miller after the game yesterday, folks. Here we go.
I'm fine. I'm really proud of this team. I didn't panic once because of our assistant coaches. I have an amazing staff around me, and they rallied. Our group trusts them. They're very capable in these moments, and so we talked often. We put a game plan together. They had some amazing practices, but I'm really focused and proud of the body of work of this group, and that started. I mean, I remember it. It's about 365 days almost. I had this vision for this program, and although I'm hurting now, I think I'll look back and say, like, what a team, what an amazing first start. And one loss doesn't define them, but this team defined a season that is going to be the trajectory of this program. And that's what I'm so proud of. And these seniors, they're going to be the reason we hang banners because they chose us and they changed the narrative. And now we're going to make runs in this tournament moving forward. But it's all because these seniors with 1 year left decided to take a chance on us. And I was talking to Steph on the way out. And she said, these alums are texting me how proud they are and how excited they are and what an amazing fight and how they love that they get to be part of the Sun Devil family and how proud they are of that. That's going to be Gabby, Marley, Michaela, and Poa. So I know I went around your question a little bit, but I just had to make sure that I recognize the seniors and I recognize what this season did for our program and how grateful I am to have had this group to start this thing off.
And obviously, it's interesting because I saw her carrying a couple Kleenexes with her when she was on the sideline, and
Well, she's still sick.
yeah, whatever she had,
Remember that
people didn't
flu
get
that's
too
going
close.
around.
People didn't get too close to her. Saw her keeping her distance and all that, but still to be able to give a press conference like that after.
Yeah. But just very Kenny Dillingham like. Like I said, I don't want to compare the two. They're different people. They do things differently. But what I mean by very Kenny Dillingham like, because he was the first to do it, just foundation building, right? She focused on foundation building. These seniors set the foundation for this program moving forward. That stuff. Only thing I'm saying on this is this is the big thing here for Arizona State's men's basketball program. You better get a coach that's like this.
Yeah.
It's working. It's working. Your fan base is rallying around it. You can't get somebody that's not like this. I don't think, can you? You can't get somebody angry because they're going to look terrible like Bobby Hurley did. But this is an important hire here for a lot of reasons, and one of them is even Willie Broomquist is a happy-go-lucky guy and talks about how his players improve and it's just different than what you saw from Bobby Hurley. These guys aren't knocking players down like Bobby Hurley did. They don't listen to me and stuff like that. Kenny Dillingham protected his quarterback to the nth degree and got burned by it last year. And to this day, he'll defend him. You need somebody like that when you're hiring the men's basketball program. It's what your fans rally around. It's what the nation's rallying around when they're noticing this stuff. It's amazing to see that. Not just, I don't know if they planned to hire people like this, but it certainly has worked out this way.
It is, and for some reason, as I sit here the day after they get eliminated in a 2-point loss, the fact is, last time the men's team went to Dayton.
Yes.
Some of you guys count that the tournament. Some of us realists don't. But
it's the tournament.
Last time they made it to Dayton, are they going to build on that or are they going to regress?
Yes.
They regressed a couple times. I don't think that's going to happen here.
She's losing her 5 best players. She's losing as seniors. But she's got really good recruits coming in. People, kind of like Kenny Dillingham, you're going to get gals transferring here that have other choices.
Yep.
But they want to come here to play for Molly Miller and that stuff. You can, look, facilities has something to do with it. Don't get me wrong. It does. You can overcome a lot of that if you have a reason for people to come here.
Well,
And Molly Miller's it. Kenny Dillingham's it. Men's program needs that more than anything. And I'm just watching coaches yesterday in the tournament. One of them from here in Mesa. Yes, he's been, he's been at St. Mary's for a long time. 2001. I get it. 25 years. But I'm watching him going, that person have the personality to fit here into this program right now. Because anything but that, what you just saw there, is going to look weird. Even Willie Broomquist, the softball coach, has a little bit of that in him as well, and that stuff. Yeah, that's the thing I think is the hardest thing probably to recreate. Did they get lucky with these hirings, or was that their plan to where when they sit down with them, they go, "You got to fit in fine. Let's go." That's the interesting thing about this going forward. But heck of a first season with those seniors transferred in as well with her. You know, they took a chance on her as seniors to come in here. And isn't that fascinating as well? She did what Bobby Hurley did this year. Okay, just gonna put that out there. You can win at Arizona State doing that method, that model.
You mean she did what Kane Dillingham?
No, she did what in terms of the players. She had to go out and rebuild that roster.
Yeah.
She had to come in here and get seniors with no ties to Arizona State and get them to come here to play. Like Bobby Hurley's had to do several times and everything. They were more consistent than Bobby Hurley was. They got into the tournament and stuff like that. I know it's different sport, men's and women's. I know the Big 12's harder on the men's side than it is on the women's side. But I also just sit back and go, you can do that on the men's side. You just have to have the coach to get you there as well. So ASU's women's program's over. Look, the women's side of the NCAA bracket has a continual problem every year. There's 2 or 3 teams that have a chance to win it all, and nobody else does.
Yeah, because
It's a hard
those
watch.
2 or 3 teams can win a game by 40 points in the tournament.
UConn's such a favorite in this women's tournament that if everybody's just like UConn's winning this. It's just that's the women's side. There's not, and that's the exciting thing about what Molly Miller's coming here with. Can she build up ASU to the point where she can be one of those 4 or 5 teams that are expected to make the Final Four and then the championship game every year? Because there's a lot of mediocrity in that division. The brackets are too big on the women's side. There's a lot of teams that aren't good on the women's side in this tournament, and they just get destroyed as they go through it. So it's going to be fascinating to see in the future. But again, Dale, it's recreating that. And we saw Charlie Turner Thorne be able to recreate it and keep it consistent.
Uh-huh.
So I have no doubt Molly Miller is going to be able to do it as well. And you can't tell me if a recruit's sitting there is paying attention and they're going, I'm going to the transfer portal. Arizona State's interested. And you do your research. You cannot tell me what this season did, watching that right there, that you're not going. Compare her to Malarkey, as I like to call her, over at LSU. Oh, LSU wants me to play there, or Molly Miller at Arizona State. Yeah, LSU's a better program right now. I'm going to go play for that instead of whatever that garbage is, where she's just angry all the time. The coach at South Carolina, just angry all the time. So I think it's great. I think it's great where they are going out there for the women's program, even though they did get knocked out, Dale. And then what Dale says is not the tournament, the playing game. Okay, I have an update here on Joe Green. The same person, and I'm not going to out him, the same person that I know that is involved in the Steelers organization, who is the one I trusted when I said it, not the other ones out there, said, confirmed Mean Joe Green is alive and well. Yeah, he said it's a vicious rumor that started on Facebook early this morning, but he is alive and well. So it's somebody that is within, that knows the Steelers organization. I'm just telling you, I'm not going to out them because they were wrong earlier. And it's, check your, when you can pick up the phone and call the Steelers, pick up your phone and call the Steelers before you put it out there. Probably just rolled out of bed and was like, what? Just put it out there. He's not a reporter, but he's in the Steelers organization. So anyway, apparently he's alive and well, Dale. So
Okay.
I take it back.
And I guess my next question would be, has he been sick?
I don't know.
It's like the other day with Lou Holtz. I mean, he was in hospice.
Well, yeah, and you knew he was. Yeah, you knew he was.
It was coming.
No, it happens. Chuck Norris birthday was 9 days ago, and he's doing boxing and stuff in Hawaii on his property. He goes, I don't age, I level up. 9 days ago, perfectly healthy. At that age, I think we're going to find out that Chuck Norris had a heart attack, something to that effect, happened. But no, you get to those ages though, Dale. I mean, you're not there yet, but you get to 80 and stuff. It's literally a day by day. You don't know what's going to happen then.
Well, I've always maintained the fact, Steve, that I think there's a thing you can be in too good a shape. I don't want to reach those levels.
Fat protects you, right there.
I've always said, because Joe Avazano, our special teams coach, had a heart attack and died on a treadmill
Yeah.
overseas.
That's my worst fear.
Why?
is-
Because you look
No,
silly?
me out jogging. Me out jogging or out for a hike. And it's like, oh, Steve died hiking. I don't no. Steve was stuffing his face with donuts and went down. That's what I want.
The last thought through Steve's head was pumpkin spice donut.
Way better than Steve was out hiking this
Yes.
afternoon and just fell over.
I like that you clarified you out for a jog.
Yeah, I changed it to hiking. If you noticed.
Yeah.
He was on his treadmill and fell over.
Yeah.
No. If somebody comes over and finds me on my floor and the treadmill's going, turn the treadmill off, put a plate of macaroni and cheese around me, rub a little bit on my face, and then call the authorities and have them come over. If I'm already gone.
Steve's treadmill was running because he's trying to get the clothes from one end of it to the other.
My treadmill does not have any clothes on it. I plugged it in the other day. I thought about getting on it the other day as well. Hey, before we get to the NBA and college basketball here, Major League Baseball, we have World Baseball Classic ratings here, Dale.
Okay.
How big do you think they were? The championship game in the United States only here. How big do you think the ratings were?
It was on Big Fox, correct?
Yes.
I think they'd probably rival World Series.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you this. 2025 World Series average was 15.5 million. The NBA Finals average was 10.2 million for 2025.
Oh, that was because it was vaunted Indiana and Oklahoma City.
World Baseball Classic game viewers in the U.S., 10.8 million average. That's big numbers. That's big numbers for basically an exhibition game of U.S. Venezuela. That's big numbers, man, for one game.
Although,
By the way, the NBA Finals average is over 7 games, or however many games it was. How many games was it? 6?
I think it
5,
was
6?
6.
That's over 6 games. World Series, however long that was. That's over those game time. This is one game at 10.8 million.
Well, again, you look
On
at
a
it.
Tuesday night, too, Dale. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's the guy. I'm just thinking about that. It's kind of like, okay, well, you see that number, and it's significant for baseball.
For an exhibition game, it meant technically nothing.
Right.
Bragging rights.
But you look at it and go, opening weekend in the NFL, the early window with the worst rated game is going to get 20 million.
More than that. Yeah.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
But
So,
It's crazy.
yeah. No, I know. Oh, the NFL's king. As if you noticed, nobody put the NFL's numbers in this at all. The Game 7 of the 2025 World Series. Remember, this was Toronto and the Dodgers. 27 million people. Now, that was just the U.S., 27 million. If you had Canada and Japan combined, it was 51 million people were watching that. A lot of Japanese because, obviously, Otani
right.
and Yamamoto on that team and stuff to that effect. Game 7 of the 2025 NBA Finals apparently did go 7 games, I'm guessing. I see the stat here. 16 million people watched that. But Game 7, you should get more watchers because there's more on the line, single game elimination, etc. But yeah, I mean, World Baseball, it's an exhibition, and it got 10.8 million. It's a huge number that we got there from Fox on that. Yeah, we have to talk about this real quick because it's Friday, and I want to not scream. Whoever in the Diamondbacks organization keeps insisting on not just naming somebody to a spot needs to be fired. I don't care if it's Torey Lovello. I don't care if it's the GM, Hazen. I don't care if it's Derek Hall. I don't care if it's Ken Kendrick. He needs to sell the team if it's him. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, Torey Lovello comes out. We already know Gallen's the opening day starter. Boom. Hey, what's your rotation? We don't know the rotation yet. We're a week and a half away from the opening of the season, folks. Oh, we don't have any idea what our starting rotation is going to be yet. You better start knowing because they have to throw one more time before the season starts. If you're not sure that they're going to be the number 2 starter, and you pitch them 3 days out before that, you're going to look like a moron. What do you mean you don't have an idea? Why are they so secretive with this stuff? Then, Dale, it gets worse. I'm trying not to throw up right now. Just thinking about it. Sitting there, Ray Lavello's talking, doing all of that stuff, and he's just, hey, what about the closing position? Every year we come into training camp and Tori go, oh, closer by committee.
Yep.
Closer by committee. I prefer guys having roles on this team. Hey, but what about your closer? Closer by committee. We're going to see, and we're going to go by Elliott. It's just constantly, I don't know. It gives the invasion. They don't know what they're doing. This year, they're saying it, though, Dale. They asked him, I don't remember who asked him, but somebody asked him. They asked him if he will announce the starting rotation soon. Or he said he will announce the starting rotation soon. They already know what it is. They're just working through some stuff. Probably negotiations behind the scenes. Tori's got to check with a committee of 17 people. Whatever. They asked him about the closer position. He said, quote, you'll probably figure it out as I'm doing it.
But why give the opponent any prior knowledge?
You think the Dodgers in game, well, first of all, you're not going to need a closer in the first couple games. So probably good. You think the Dodgers are sitting there going, all right, if we get in a close situation, guys got to be prepared. Paul Sewald's going to be the closer. They announced it. Do you honestly think the Dodgers are like, oh, who? Oh.
I hope Paul Sewald comes down and lights it up.
Okay, but here's the other side. I use Sewald for a reason. And I'm going to talk you out of both sides of my mouth here for just a second. Paul Sewald, it's good that they're doing this year. I'll put it this way. It's a good thing they're not announcing who's going to be in that closing role this year. And why, Dale? Because it's going to be Paul Sewald. And at least the Diamondbacks are smart enough to understand if they come out and say Paul Sewald's our closer, the fan base is going to grab pitchforks and torches, and they're going to massacre these guys if they announce it. So that they're smart not to announce it there. Paul Sewald's going to be the de facto closer when this season starts. He's going to be given every opportunity to be the closer when this season starts. I don't know how the fan base is going to handle this the first time he rolls out. So this year, they're smart to not announce it. Because we'd all be losing our minds right now.
So in other words, what you're saying is the Diamondbacks cannot do right by Steve McCullum.
No, by most people. No, announce it. Be a team and announce it if you're so confident he's your guy. Announce it. But this is how many years now of closer by committee? How many years have we dealt with this?
Couple years.
Yeah, it's annoying. Even when you had Martinez and Puck. The situation's going to determine if who we put in there as the closer. Every year it's this nonsense. And then in the same breath, I like guys to know their roles. No, you don't. You don't.
You have to tell us his plans.
Every other team announces who their closer is. Every other team. Oh, are the Diamondbacks just the best team in the league? So they don't have to announce it to anybody? Oh, could they do it differently because it works for them? Was that why, Dale?
They've also
The
made
Dodgers,
the
we know
playoffs.
the Dodgers closers are going to be. We know the Dodgers rotation for the most part. So do you think the Dodgers are over at Camelback Ranch right now, over in West Valley, and they're going, oh my God, guys, did we mess up? The Diamondbacks aren't announcing their starting lineup or their closer, and we did. Oh my God, do you think we screwed up? Do we have an unfair advantage now? Do the other teams now know and can game plan against us? You think the Dodgers are doing that over there at Camelback Ranch right now?
Yeah, they're having to send
They're starting to sweat a little bit.
they're having to send scouts out to everywhere to figure out which ones are which.
Somebody right now in the meetings at Camelback Ranch, somebody's going, "Is it hot in here? Somebody turn the air down." And they're like, "Sir, it's 60 degrees. Turn the air down in here." We can't believe we announced that when the Diamondbacks aren't. We got to keep it quiet. We got to keep the closer quiet. Oh my God, I'm so tired of it. Whoever is making these decisions on not saying or the closer needs, just go away. I'm tired of it, man. Years and years of, "We don't know who our closer is." You will see. You'll see in the situation.
Steve, they made it to the World Series not knowing who their closer was.
Yeah, and how did that work out for them? They put only World Series making team that had a bullpen pitcher. Boy, did that work out for him. "Oh, we don't know who's going to pitch in Game 4. We're going to just throw a bullpen guy out there and see what happens." Joke? Works every other year.
Wow.
Every other year. I mean, nobody else has tried it. We're just going to try it. Yep.
My goodness.
I'm tired of it, Dale. Don't you want to know who your closer is?
No, I
there's a
don't
role?
give two hoots.
So there's a role for them?
You don't. Who's coming up? If you don't have a dominant closer, there's 3 left-handers coming up.
A closer should get 3 outs regardless of what the deal is. Oh, my God. You don't send Chapman to the mound and you go, "Oh, my God, they got a lefty coming up, so we better not put Chapman out there to close out this game."
Well, he is a
You
left-hander.
a righty's going to. You don't do that. You have a closer that his job is to go in there and get 3 outs in the game. It doesn't matter if Jesus himself, Hank Aaron, and Babe Ruth are coming to the plate. You send your closer out there to get those 3 outs. That's his job. Period. End of story. And then there's the Diamondbacks. Well, what if there's a lefty up there? We gotta match up with the lefty per the odds and everything. Dale, I would agree with you. This is the smart way to go. If it worked, it rarely works for the Diamondbacks, and nobody else employs it that's good. So it doesn't work. That's the problem. They're doing something that doesn't work.
Or is that Tori's way to send a message
What message are you sending? None of you are good enough to be the closer right now?
to the front office that says, "Quit giving me these has-beens. Quit making me play Paul Sewald."
He loves himself some Seawald. Tori's probably every day going, "Paul, you're going to revenge yourself this year. I'm going to see to it."
Of course he's going to say that. Hopefully you would say that if you're his manager.
I wouldn't even have signed him.
It's not you signing him.
Just saying, Dale.
No.
Just saying. on back.
Negative.
Come on back, folks. Let's get into basketball.
Yes.
Coming up next, good and bad in basketball. Dale's back hurts, and for once, it's not about carrying this show. It's about he had to change a tire this morning.
Jeez, my back's killing me. Steve responds with, "Oh, Liv Golson, South Africa."
Robert reposted High Flyers GC. Phil hit a ball up there, and that thing rolled backward nicely for him there. But yeah, lives in South Africa.
Good for you. You'll be able to watch that at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, because that post came out 2 hours ago, so they're probably off the course by now as well here on the West Coast. Your Phoenix Suns lose to the Spurs last night. I was impressed with the way the Suns played. They held into this game with the length of the Spurs. They fought hard, but it annoys the living heck out of me, Dale. You're up by 1, and you're on the foul line, and you miss both free throws to go up by 3. What?
Are you one of the people that has a little bit of questions? Again, I'm not a guy who questions coaches a whole lot, but can you tell me why in that situation he was in the game?
Who you
young
talking
guy who hasn't had much playing time in a pressure situation. You know they're going to foul.
Yeah, you know they're fouling. They're fouling in that situation.
Yeah.
They have to.
Don't you have your 5 best foul shooters on the court?
You would think. I am a guy that questions. I'm not going to question the coach. No, they were shorthanded last night. Let's be honest. And then they lost the other young kid last night in the middle of the game. So they went down another person yesterday on top of it. They were shorthanded. So, but no, I tend to agree with that. Even if he's out there, why is he getting the opportunity to get the ball, to get fouled, to go in that position? And they weren't like easy misses. They were clankers. Coffey's the one that went out in the game early.
Yeah, it was Rasheer Fleming.
Yeah, Fleming was the guy that you're talking about.
Well, why is he out on the court?
Well, who else are you going to have out there?
It's not for defensive purposes. It's not for anything other than you're going to inbound the ball and somebody's going to get fouled.
Yes. You know it's coming because you're down by 1 with under a minute to go.
Yes.
Yeah. Or you're up by 1 with a minute to go. So they got to foul you. For that situation, everybody goes, why do they foul so much at the end of basketball games? That's why. Because even if he makes them, it's a 3-point game, or misses 1, it's a 2-point game, or misses them both like he did. That is my biggest pet peeve, man. And I get it. They're professionals. Guys mess up. Guys don't hit shots all the time. But they're free throws for a reason, man. They're free for a reason. They were giving you 2 baskets to make it a 3-point game. You can't even make one of them? Forget about both of them, Dale. One of them to make it a 2-point game. Because the Spurs are going to go for a 2 in that scenario. And then, of course, what always happens when that happens, Wemby gets the ball on the left side of the court or right side of the court, whichever way you're looking at it. Goes to his right. I just don't understand why you don't get a hand in his face.
No, again, if you're going to single,
it's a joke because very few people could put their hands in Wemby's face. But anyway, I wanted to be clear.
My question is, why aren't you running a double team at him?
You left him single.
Yes.
You were single guarding him when he dribbled too. It wasn't like he caught the ball, turned and shot it.
Right.
He
had
dribbled
time
to his right to take that shot.
Make somebody else beat you.
So that was disappointing. Do you blame that on the coaches?
Yeah, I blame that on the coach, and I blame having the young guy in there at the end on the coach.
Well, I would argue on the coaching side, you need to make that kid. But I can tell you this. Here's what we don't know. Because I remember one time I was talking to a coach at a college level. And I remember asking him, stupidly, I go, why don't you just tell them to not do that? And he goes, we tell them that on every timeout. And they still go and do it. Like he got all like it. It was so funny the way he said it. I was at a basketball camp. And he was all like, we tell them all the time. Like Chris Webber was told, we have no more timeouts. But what did he do? Still called the timeout and got the technical. There's video of him being told, the team being told, we do not have any more timeouts. And what does he do? He still goes and calls the timeout.
There's also video of a teammate on the bench signaling timeout.
Yes, that's the problem with it. But in this instance here, we don't know. Maybe he called for a double team. It didn't rotate out there. So I'm going to be a little lenient there or not that he did that. But heck of a shot by Wemby. And the Suns end up losing that game that they should have won. I mean, they were Here's the other side of it. They were up. They should have won it. Dale, I have a stat for you here on the Suns on this road trip. 2-4 on this road trip
Right.
against good teams. Couple back-to-backs, stuff like that.
Most of us said 3-3 would be a successful road
But
trip.
3 of these games for Toronto, 105-95 with 8:12 to play. This is from Nick King put this out. They were outscored 27-10 the rest of the game, last 8 minutes and 12 seconds. In Boston, they had that lead the whole game, up 110-106 with 4:46 left to play. They didn't score again in the final 4:46. They were outscored 14-2. They didn't score a bucket. They scored a free throws, but that was it. San Antonio last night, 95-85 with 4 minutes, 50 seconds to play. Outscored 16-5 in that 4 minutes and 50 seconds last night. They have a issue at the end of the game, closing games out. And it's not just this road trip. We've seen it several times this year. But we're seeing it a lot more lately. Those are games you need to close out and win on this road trip. And they're not able to do it.
And one of my pet peeves has become, again, I thought we were out of this from the beginning of this year till about 3 weeks ago. The ball still moved in the fourth quarter like it did in the first, second, and third quarter. And now if you watch it closely, they get the ball to Devin Booker. Devin Booker does not know what to do with the ball. He gets
turns the ball over a
double-teamed.
lot.
He gets double-teamed, turns the ball over, sometimes just dribbling.
Yeah. Last night, he threw a ball to a pass right to the Spurs player.
Yes.
Just standing there.
And so, again, why not go back to what got you here? Because we've seen this dog and pony show, and it crashed.
Yes. Well, I mean, we're seeing it crash right now. You see that right there that Nick King put out on X. You see those numbers right there. That tells you you're a soft team and you can't close out games. Mentally and physically. Am I boring you, Dale?
I'm tired, Steve. I've already had a full day's work in a morning.
You're going to get and I don't mean soft to the point, the negative moniker. I'm just saying you don't know how to close out games. You're letting your foot off the pedal in crunch time right now. Now, is that because you're missing a toughness person there in Brooks? Do you get that toughness back? Because at the end of games, it comes down to toughness and the want of finishing that game. The Suns looked like they wanted to finish that game last night. But they just make just a tiny little mistakes. And if you make them, you're going to get beat by a better team. Spurs are one of the hottest teams in basketball, along with the Lakers, by the way. Winning 8 in a row now for the Lakers. Does bringing Brooks back here when his hand is healed, will that solve that quote-unquote toughness problem you have at the end of a game? Because they're missing it right now. That's what they're missing right now. End of game, toughness against good teams.
Well, what I'm thinking is that when he does come back, I believe he would be a guy to go over and grab the ball out of Devin Booker's hands while he's being double-teamed, looking like a fish out of water, looking like a 7-year-old playing YMCA basketball, getting double-teamed for the first time. And what blows my mind is he always escapes criticism. And yet you look at the last 5 minutes of the last 4 losses, and I dare you to find something positive that Devin Booker's done.
But it's not just I get it.
He's your leader. He's your leader.
I get it. I get that side of it, but nobody's stepping up either. Look at the point totals on other guys. Nobody else is stepping up either.
Okay. Well, maybe if he would pass the
Rasheer
ball
Fleming
earlier.
had to hit 2 free throws last night. Dale, I know what you're saying. He's a rookie. Probably shouldn't be out there in that situation.
Yep.
But you should be able to. You're in the freaking NBA. You should be able to hit at least 1 free throw at the end of a game. Especially when you're not one of the core players that just played 40 minutes in the game. He's at 20 minutes, Dale. How tired is he?
Well, he's not tired. It's the pressure.
That's the thing. But you still should be able to hit those shots. He had more pressure in his college games. It's just that's where the Suns are at the point where They're good enough to compete with guys on certain nights, like the Spurs on certain nights, but they're not good enough to where one or two mistakes late in the game, they can't overcome that. And that's what's happening in these late games. That's a toughness side of it. That's what that comes down to in my eyes. It's a toughness that they're missing. And Brooks should come back super fresh, Dale. I don't want to hear
Well, I
he
don't
comes back
know.
tired.
I don't know. If his nightlife isn't curtailed.
Dale, his legs have been getting a lot of action pressing that gas pedal down.
I know. Now, the one thing with a hand injury, you can still stay in cardiovascular
He could
shape.
still be running, and so
Yeah.
he's actually working out. I heard he's been shooting for a few weeks now.
He's
in
got
the
to sweat that
facilities.
poison out of his system. Then
I don't know. It's just the Suns. They're missing the late game stuff right now on the games that they're in. They should have won that game last night. They should have beaten Toronto.
yes,
They should have beaten Boston. And it's the late game collapses, that's a want and that's a toughness. That's all that is. When you have you fought hard all game long, and that's when you decide to, let your foot off the pedal or not play as tough and stuff. I don't know how to say it without making it sound like they're soft. But you lose those games because the other team's mental and physical toughness outbeats you. How about I phrase it that way? Bucks tomorrow, 7 p.m. They just beat the Bucks. Giannis is out again. They're fighting over. We got a Max Crosby situation here in Milwaukee. He wants to play, and the Bucks are like, "You're sitting down for a couple weeks." He's like, "I'm playing there. You're sitting down for a couple weeks." Boy,
Right.
I'm sure glad he wanted to stay there.
there is an article about the two owners making decisions. There's two.
They
majority-
switch. They're supposed to switch off like every couple years or every year to whom is the majority decision maker, and they're not switching off. Let's put it that way. They're trying to override each other. It's an interesting story if you read into that as well. But Bucks on tomorrow 7 p.m. But it's another back-to-back situation. Raptors, but both of these are at home. Raptors on Sunday as well coming up in these games. I'm just gonna look. The Raptors game is going to be harder because you lose your legs in the fourth quarter on a second night of back-to-back in today's NBA. They should go 2-0 in these next two games. I'm going to say 1-1 though, because you can't ignore that second night back-to-back fourth quarter. And they've shown they aren't competitive in the fourth quarter. They scored 18 points the other night in the fourth quarter. 18. That's hard to do. But that's the Suns weekend coming up. Luka scored 60 points last night. He scored 100 points in his last two games for the 8-win streak Lakers. Lakers might get the 1 seed if they keep playing like this coming up here as well. So LeBron said the other day he doesn't want to be a part of the, even though in the past he has said, I want to own the Vegas expansion team. He's now saying he's not interested in it. Could it be price is the reason he's not interested? The NBA is expecting a bidding prize for the Las Vegas franchise. It's Las Vegas and Seattle they're voting on to expand it. And folks, what I'm about to tell you is the reason why both cities are getting expansion teams. The Vegas team alone, $7 to $10 billion is the price to bring that team into the NBA they're looking at.
That's more than established NBA teams get.
$7 to $10 billion is what is being reported that they're expecting for that franchise. This isn't a Mean Joe Green situation. NBA folks are putting that out. Ridiculous. No, that's everything. You got to have your expansion fee, all that stuff.
On top of that, yeah, we're going to charge you multi-billion dollars, and also there's a franchise fee.
Yeah. So, the team's going to cost you, let's say, $4 billion, but you got to pay $2 billion just to have the rights to own the team. It's ridiculous out there, but that's the number that is being reported, that the Vegas NBA's that gets shared with every owner, folks. Expansion numbers gets shared with every owner out there.
So 30 teams, so say you come up with 15, 16, 18 billion.
There's too many zeros in that for me to do math.
Wow.
don't even know how many zeros are in billion coming up here. But yeah, though I saw that number and I was like, I can understand LeBron saying he's not interested. Obviously, you got to have a big conglomerate out there. Of course, NCAA tournament is going on right now as well. Arizona gets underway here. Here's an interesting thing. Speaking of Arizona State's thing. So we know who we want to kind of see and everything. This is what's fascinating. I noticed this yesterday. The coach from Troy gets eliminated yesterday in the NCAA tournament. Boom. Georgia Tech. That's going to be our head coach. Boom. Go and sign him. This morning he's there. He's now their Georgia Tech head coach.
Yep.
Boom. All right, ASU. Who are you talking to? Who we got? Somebody's going to get eliminated today, and some other school's going to go, we want that guy as our coach. Boom. He'll be coaching there. St. Mary's got eliminated yesterday. Did you see anything on ASU going, we're even interviewing St. Mary's head coach? Anybody? Anybody see that anywhere?
Oh,
Anybody see that anywhere, Dale?
they're taking their time, like the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's my point. Do you not have somebody that you want? Georgia Tech eyed the Troy head coach and went, we want that guy. Boom. And he's there today. Boom. Arizona State has 3 coaches you can interview that would have interest in this program that you should have interest in interviewing. 2 of them didn't even make the tournament. One of them got eliminated yesterday at St. Mary's. I'm reading all about yesterday. Troy gets eliminated, Dale. And 30 minutes later, Georgia Tech is eyeing Troy's head coach for their next coach. This morning, sign him. There's 4 guys sitting there you want to talk to, Arizona State. Which one we getting? Who we getting? Who's your number 1 guy? Go get him. Let's go. Dale, crickets. Crickets. It's frustrating. I noticed that yesterday. It's frustrating.
Yeah. Although I have a little more confidence in Graham Rossini than I do in the Cardinals.
I do. I know. And that's why it's like you got to have patience. But it's going to happen today. Somebody's going to get eliminated today. And then some other school that's looking for a coach is going to go, we want that guy. And then they go and get him. We don't even know who ASU's interviewing yet.
Well, maybe they wanted the High Point coach.
Maybe they're waiting for him.
Yeah. They ended up winning yesterday.
Okay. This dude is high freaking strung, and I love it. I watched his press conference yesterday. Here he is, High Point head coach yesterday from the court here after, of course, winning this game and surprising everybody. So if you don't know High Point, people are like, they don't deserve to be in this tournament like Miami of Ohio. They do struggle scheduling teams because teams know they're good and they don't want to play them. He addresses this on the court after his player hits that go-ahead 2 yesterday to beat, I forgot who they beat now. I want to say VCU, but they beat North Carolina. But anyway, here he is, head coach, High Point.
Your first NCAA tournament game, Coach Klayman.
It looks pretty obvious to me that high majors need to play mid-majors during the season because they said we ain't played nobody. We played somebody now.
How'd you do it?
Feels unreal because I know how good of a team we had, but nobody would play us, just like they wouldn't play Miami, Ohio. But they got to play us in this tournament.
Coach, you were down by 10 early on. What changed?
We just settled in. We settled in. We got a hell of a team. We settled in.
So great. Beat Wisconsin. That's right. They beat Wisconsin. I'm sorry, that's great. He's high strung. He's all trying to do a professional interview, but you can tell like he's trying to bottle it up and but he's intense, man. He has that intense stare. You have to play us now. So great, man. I love it, Dale. I loved it.
Now, see, I thought you would be one who'd say maybe not the time and place to go on a tirade.
If you're a High Point, you're not winning the next game. If you're a High Point, you enjoy that.
No, but you're going to have a post-game news conference. There'll be a lot of cameras in there because you're High Point upset Wisconsin.
He had the same demeanor in the press conference as he did right there.
Yeah.
Settled down a little bit because he didn't have his players jumping on him and
Right.
stuff like that. But he has that serious demeanor to him and everything. Like, he didn't even smile right there while his players were jumping on him and stuff like that.
Well, he's probably getting annoyed and said, hey, I tried to stand up for our school.
I know. But that is fantastic to watch that. This is why this is such a great – people think you're going to get this in the football playoff. You're not, folks. You're not getting this in the football playoffs. Then you got Duke down huge to Siena yesterday at halftime. Barely win this game yesterday.
Yeah.
At halftime, I'm watching that game, and I'm watching a halftime interview yesterday, of course, with Malik Brown for Duke. Listen closely to what he says at halftime of this program when they're down big at this point. Number one, Duke. Number one team in the whole tournament. Duke, down big to Siena, folks. Just listen to the wording here that he says at halftime. Here we go.
5%. What had you guys all out of sorts in that first half?
Oh, yeah, just first game. I feel like a lot of us was kind of nervous or just got punched first, so we just got to respond back. Going in the second half, be ready.
What did Shire tell you in the locker room?
Oh, yeah, obviously we weren't playing our basketball. Just like I said, we thought it was going to be a cakewalk going into this game, so now we know what it is, and we just got to respond back the way we usually do.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yep.
We thought it was going to be a cakewalk going to the game, so now we know what it is. We have to just respond back. That's at halftime, folks.
I'm surprised they allow players to be interviewed at halftime.
I was shocked by this, too. Like, why didn't you talk to the coach then?
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be a cakewalk. Even if you did, which I can tell you, Duke did. Why are you admitting that
Well,
at halftime?
because you want honesty, Steve. That's what you scream for.
Shh.
And now people are honest. You criticize them for that.
No. First of all, thank you for saying that. But at the same time, dude, if you're the coach, you're going, shut it. You don't ever say that again. Here's the problem that Duke has, folks. They beat Siena yesterday and everything fine, right? Duke is the 8th number one seed in NCAA tournament history to win by 6 or fewer points against the 16th seed. The 8th one to squeak out a game in the first game of the tournament for him. Of that 8, 3 of the previous 7 lost their next game. Because obviously 7 have only played another game now. 3 of 7 have lost their next game, Dale. Only one of them went on to reach the Final Four. That was Illinois back in 1989. Duke's getting eliminated soon, folks, if you go by statistics. I don't have them making the Final Four, so that stat doesn't surprise me. But 3 of the 7 lost their next game on top of it.
Boy, wouldn't that be something?
And here's the thing, Dale. They're going to have TCU next because TCU won yesterday. TCU can out Duke. If Duke plays anywhere close to the level they played against Siena, Duke's getting eliminated in that game by TCU. TCU can beat Duke, folks. Now, here's the other side of it. Do they wake up and all of a sudden just dominate? They're so angry that they go out there and play like Duke should play.
Well, that's what I'm guessing with Duke, and it just goes to show you, me coaching for such a long time and playing, coaches can say whatever they want. Hey, this team's going to fight their tails off against
They
you.
could do the Lou Holtz thing. There's a great shooter that could beat us by himself.
You got to meet their charge. You got to play our game, blah, blah, blah. But still, they're 18-year-old kids.
Yeah.
And, every one of them was going, where the hell is Siena?
Yeah. A lot of them are going, what's my draft pick going to be coming up? Have they moved my stuff out of the dorm yet? Because I'm done. I'm going to get ready for the NBA draft coming
I
up.
ain't going back.
As well. So look, mostly it was a lot of blowouts yesterday. St. Louis blew out Georgia in that game. That was shocking from that perspective. Michigan looked well against Howard. Arkansas did defeat Hawaii. Texas A&M beat St. Mary's. And a lot of people, I'm not sure he's going to leave St. Mary's because people are like, yeah, but he's from here. He grew up here. His kids grew up in, in California there for St. Mary's. His kids are all been over there for, he's been there for 25 years. Like I said, I don't know if he's an empty nester or what to where it makes it easier to move. I'm not sold he's going to be a guy that you're going to be able to slide over pretty quickly, even though they did lose yesterday for that. But other than that, it was generally good. South Florida, everybody was big on South Florida yesterday. They ended up losing to Louisville in that game as well. Then TCU taking out Ohio State. Arizona gets underway here in about 15 minutes, Dale.
Are they going to struggle, Steve?
No.
No.
I did my favorite tweet yesterday. I don't have it up in front of me. Was Long Island and Arizona battling for the supremacy of iced tea today. Which is the better iced tea, Long Island or Arizona iced tea? Just a brilliant. Brilliant tweet
Oh,
yesterday.
brother.
What do you think is going to happen with Arizona today? 10:35 a.m. Tip off.
I think they win comfortably.
30.5
Again,
point favorite. Are they beating the? Are they beating
I
the
would
spread?
never even look at those. I don't care. That's stupid if you bet that either way.
Yeah, because you could see Long
Yeah.
Island hitting a 2 late to make it a 29.
A 3 late, a half-court shot. Well, they only lost by 28.
Completely meaningless shot at the end of the game.
But I think it helps also that they're sitting around yesterday after their shoot around,
and they're watching Duke.
and they're watching Duke struggle against Siena.
Well, North Carolina, which I mean, North Carolina is not somebody to contend for a Final Four, but losing to VCU, that was a big upset for that as well. By the way, North Carolina, first time in program history with all the success they've had, they've lost 2 years in a row in the first round. Yesterday, boy, that's going to get you in favor as a coach, isn't it? With your alums. 2 times now they've done it there. Yeah, so 10:35, Iowa State gets underway this morning as well, 11:50. Alabama's an interesting one, 12:15 tip-off for them. It's just interesting because you want to see how they play with all the noise around the program with their second leading scorer not being around.
Yeah.
Off enjoying other things in life as well. Right now, Texas Tech is up 29-22 in the first half over Akron. Kentucky's down to Santa Clara right now, 31-29 at halftime.
Santa Clara.
Steve Nash.
Ghost of Steve Nash.
First time they've been in the tournament since Nash was there.
Really?
Yeah. So Steve Nash willing Santa Clara there over Kentucky here by 2 so far here in this game. Everybody have a great weekend here. Stay cool out there. Enjoy your basketball. Enjoy your UFC. Check out Lou if you missed him yesterday. On demand as well. The pit stop's up for you racing fans. Truck Series gets back underway at Darlington tonight. Darlington's a fun little track. If you're going out to NHRA or Luke Days, have fun out there as well. I talk about Luke Days on the business show. If you want some info on that, catch that. It's up on demand right now as well. Dale?
Go Maddie.
Yeah, go do well down there.
Yeah.
Fantastic to see her make it far. Has she won anything yet?
No, she only raced twice.
That's what I mean.
But she's
So
finished like top 10 or something.
That's what I meant. Not win by first
Right.
place, but top 10s and stuff. She's not finishing last, is what I'm
No.
getting at on that side. So. All right, perfect. Everybody have a great weekend. Let me just check here real quick. Let's clear everything out. Autumn says on the text line from yesterday, so this is kind of funny. I'm not reaching my hand into a bucket to eat nachos. That's his disgusting way to serve nachos. I tend to agree with her on that. Like we talked about that. You get to the bottom and it's just soggy.
Yeah,
chips and
just a
cheese.
clump of nonsense.
I do agree with her on that. But we're gonna do a nacho review on that when I make it to a game this year. Maybe when they're 30 games out of first place in May. Maybe we'll make it to a game for Chief with the nachos. So Paul Sewald dishes up some.
Way to end the show negatively, Steve. I go get my tire changed.
Yeah, go do it. Make sure when you walk in, you go, I changed to a spare today. I need a new tire.
Unlike my partner.
They're like, oh, Steve, we've seen him in here
Yeah.
before. He's been in here before.
Was that the huge guy who couldn't change his own tire?
It don't have to be huge. It wasn't huge back then.
Oh,
I got huge like this being here with you. For some reason, my stress levels go up. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday, everybody.